We've got to make sure that the front sign is not too offensive. Battery exhausted, she says. I'm fucking exhausted. Right, welcome back everyone. My name's Paul, this is Milehouse Studios. I've been away for like 10 days in the Isle of the Americas. I've come back about 9 pounds heavier than when I went. It's nothing to do with the Americans. I just got a bit excited about the biscuits and gravy. And every other meal I ate, it's like I couldn't eat a meal without feeling like I was gonna die after I ate it. Fucking holiday bloat. So I'm starving myself and eating leaves for a while. Anyway, I'm digressing. Dave, you're on. You're not in a very good position. I've been asked to make a Buckethead guitar, and I'm going to tell you now a little secret. I've already made it. My camera's proper pissed. Hang on a minute. It's never going to see the light of day. I've even edited 3 of the episodes. I fucking hated the thing. It was a shit guitar. Let's just get one thing very clear. If you contact me and you say, I want a Buckethead guitar, you can have one. Well, I'll even download some pictures and we'll see what the real thing looks like. But what we will be doing is pulling things from this and making something very individual. Now, I don't like Les Pauls.
How dare you?
Kill me in the comments if you want. I don't mind looking at them. I don't like playing them, right? They're not my favourite guitar in the world. I want to make a Les Paul, a Milehouse Les Paul. I want it to be different. I don't want it to have an exact curve and carve and all that sort of stuff. I want to just fuck around and experiment a little bit. And I've just been away with Texas Toast, and their Challenger guitar has got a carved top, but it's very, very subtle. It's hardly anything. It's just, oh, chef's kiss. Loved it. Love you boys. You don't watch my videos. Chris definitely doesn't watch my videos. Go and subscribe to Texas Toast Guitars, you mung pieces. Now, I've got a one-piece mahogany body. I'm not going to put a fucking maple cap on it. That would suggest that I prescribe to tone wood, and I don't. I think that's a crock of shit word. So we're not doing that. So, first thing we're going to be doing, right, is I don't like painted guitars very much. So we are only painting the top and the headstock. Oh, that's the kill switch wiring, which is surprisingly simple. So we're going to paint the headstock and the top of the body. We're going to do the binding, very similar. I'm going to have a very slightly different carve. I'm going to use a router bit for it. That's a bit experimental, but I don't give a fuck about that. We're going to make this our own. We're going to have the kill switches and the layout the same. We're going to have all this looking the same. We've got this, lots of things are going to be looking the same. The client wants fret markers, so I've got an idea for that, which is a little bit cheeky, and I'll be popping them in. So today, for this first episode, we're going to be having a proper sweatathon, because it's hot as fuck in here, and I'm going to be cutting this first down the middle, and then I'm going to have to cut 10mm off the top, so that I can then glue it all back together, and then I can do all the internal routing. Wait. Talk amongst yourselves. Still got to do the internal routing to get me switcheroos and all that sort of stuff. We've got some weight relieving going on as well, because we didn't want a fat, heavy body. So I don't really want to do lots of speedy uppies, but we're going to have to do a little one, ain't we, to start with, because it's not that exciting. And away we go. I'll waffle through some shit as I go. Got some nice, interesting bits to put on it. We are not using Geiger gear on this one. Sorry, Geiger. I've got a mixture of Goto and Stu Mac and some Warman pickups. So we've got shit from all over the globe. So welcome back, everyone. Like I said in the intro, I've got to be careful what I put up here. So I got told off recently by saying that Rolf Harris is a nonce. Now, too many of you picked up on the fact that I spelt it wrong. I've got this little thing where I like to sneak a little spelling mistake in, because you can't help yourselves, can you? Oh, I've seen a mistake! And you do it. But YouTube gave me a warning, not a strike, a warning, and they deleted my video, despite the fact that you cannot legally slander a dead person. Rolf's very dead. And he was a convicted nonce. So it was telling the truth about a dead person, but that had my video removed. Fucking weird world. Free speech, everyone. Free speech don't exist. What a crock of shit. Whoever removed that video, you are a recuntinator. Speedy uppy. Got that off my chest now.
If you're into guitars and how they're made, if you want to make them better when they are played, come and watch old Paul in his studio, straighten out the neck and away we go. If your action is high, we can lower it down. If the frets are buzzing, we can go to town. Set up your axe in less than a day. Take it down to Fritzl's and give it a play.
Right, so now we're back on the ball. Let's just run through. I'm going to be gluing things up, but I might as well talk to you while I'm gluing things up. Dave, are you on close-up glue cam? Spaff cam, there he is. This is my router bit I'm going to be using. Look, I can do it to 2 cameras because I'm posh as fuck. This is the router bit I'm using, right? It's just going to give a very subtle curve, and I might even blend it a little bit with a fucking bit of sandpaper. I don't know what's going to go on. The way I'm heading is that I really want my own models, my own style of guitar. So I've got like an offset, I offset everything because it's sexy, but I've got an offset telly with an inlaid top. I've got the stretched out strap, the Milehouse strap, which again, I've modified again since then. I've got my own version of the NF53, which is pretty much the same as the NF53, but I just like that one, so I'm not going to dick around with it. Different headstock. I'm not going to use PRS's headstock. And this is my Les Paul. I want my carves to be a little bit different, my neck heel to be a little bit more different. I'm worried about ergonomics. I don't give a fuck what anyone thinks, but I just want something, I just want my own model. Do you know what I mean? I don't want it to look like a Les Paul. So if you're going, oh, it doesn't look like Bucketheads, it doesn't. And that, you thick twat, is the whole point before you type away. I'm sure you already have. Now, I'm jet lagged to fuck, which is where the negativity's coming from today. I'm sure it'll pass, but let's be honest, it might not. So I'm gonna get this glued up. Because we're not painting the back of this one, we're gonna give it a little bit of love, bit of colour, bit of chef's kissage. Chefs do like to kiss their wood, I've heard. It's something that they do in the trade. So we're gonna be gluing up like that. Dave, that is horrendous. I would say I'm out of practice, but I've only been away 10 days. I've got a nice bit of European ash to go in the middle, and I've got some cheeky walnut, right? It's just gonna give the back a little bit of color, and it's just gonna make the neck flow in through the body, all right? Very subtle, like my willy. That's gonna get glued in there. I'm not gonna show you what's gonna go on because it's fucking boring, isn't it? And then I'm also gonna glue up my cap separately. That doesn't need stripes in it because we're painting that. Stay with me, slags. And I have got some amazing Honduran, I think I might have made that bit up. It was very dry, very old mahogany that Tom at Crimson sent me. And this is gonna have the same stuff in it. It's a slightly different type of mahogany to the body, but I'm not gonna let that get me down because it's really sexy bit of wood. That, from what I can tell, from what Tom told me, it's 9 billion years old. So anyway, that's gonna look like that, all right? It's a slightly different shade. It's a slightly different shade. It's like the end of your willy to the start of your willy. The shades don't quite line up, but collars and cuffs are not the most important thing. I'll see you when I've done some gluing because I'm sweating. Look how far.
Approximately 10 hours later.
Right, so we're back in the room. We've done a bit of gluing up. My camera's very close. That doesn't leave me a lot of wiggle room if my angle's off. Fuck it, I'll leave it for now. So here's my body blank. It's all very sexy. I mean, it's pretty simple, innit? I've got some sexy tools. I know that's cheating a little bit. Some of you are, I'm not supposed to do it if I'm just cutting the wood with my fucking toenails. I can't help you there, Dave. All right, so I gave Trevor a little rest there. So the first thing I'm gonna do is cut this fucker out. I'm gonna centralize my template. I'm going to get a couple of cheeky screws in. Because, of course, this is all going to be hidden away. Oh, you can't just drill holes randomly. I fucking can. It's mine, you slag. So the YouTube landscape is changing. And the British government want to fucking shaft with your algorithm. Apparently, I'm going to be alright, though, because I'm not controversial in the slightest. Right. So we're going to cut this one out. I'm going to leave myself a little bit of wiggle room. I'll mark it with the pen because you can see that on the internet. It's not the ideal thing. I'd rather mark it with a pencil, personally. But I've got that one located in. I've done that there so you can do a little bit of weight relieving. I'm going to do a little bit, although this isn't a particularly heavy body, so I might just leave that chunk. The main star of the show, I need to route these bits in your... Like that, Chewy, you fucking bastard. Chewy's not allowed to swear, he's a teacher. Although he does look like fucking Ed Kemper's ugly auntie. I'm only joking, Chewy. You're not even that fucking pretty. So I'm going to whip this off. I'm going to drill these out. These holes can go all the way through, and that's just got to route a little chutney channel. That's all we've got to do. And then I've got my cap. The more astute of you will know I've made a mistake, and I've just had to glue this up this morning. Basically, if you're going to do this technique, which fucking you'd be mad if any of you do, you need a nice thick stock. So I've had to recut this panel to make it super chunky because we're using this raised panel bit. I need to make sure I've got enough wood on there. I don't know if I'm demonstrating that well enough. That'd be rare, wouldn't it? Make sure I've got enough wood on there so that I'm not cutting through. I was going to laminate it with another panel. I was going to get a bit of wenge going on. I couldn't be fucking bothered. I want this to be El Natural. Oh, he's not using a maple cap. I'm not using a maple cap. That's what I've got there. We're going to just drill this out, drill that out. They can go all the way through for now. We'll route a little chutney channel on, and let's have a tiny speedy up here. I've got a new drill bit over there. Not massively impressed with it, but I'll bring Dave along, and he can pick his bum while he's watching. Careful what you put on your board, everyone. The police are watching.
Bring me your suckers, your pimps and hoes. Take a visit to Milehouse Studios. He's an albino looter who's an absolute scream. He takes cheap guitars, makes them play like a dream. If you don't like cussing, then off you fuck. If you're feeling offended, then you're out of luck. Want a closer look? We'll bring in Dave. At the end of the vid, you'll get a special wave. Bring me your suckers, your pimps and hoes. Take a visit to Milehouse Studios. He's an albino luthier who's an absolute scream. He takes cheap guitars, makes them play like a dream.
Right, there we go. So let's be a little bit informative. Off comes Senor Templades. That was for my Spanish brethren, all 6 of you. That's us routed out. I've not weight relieved this because it's not heavy. It's not an heavy guitar. Even with that on there, it's not really heavy at all. It's sometimes you'll make something out of ash or something like that, and it'll be absolutely stonkingly heavy. We don't need to do that, so we're not going to. So there's me routing. There's me. Do you know what I mean? It's fucking self-explanatory, innit? Now we'll just need to glue this bastard on here. I've got a matching hole there, which should draw. I've got a matching hole there, which will line up with that hole there, so we can just do that there, and then I'll clamp the rest. It should be fairly. What's the word? Piece of piss. That's what I'm trying to think. I'm fucking stuttering it out today, ain't I? A little word about router bits. I'll take it, Dave, and I'll leave you on the main mic. I'm using that one there from Radiant Tools. Dave, that's not it. That one there, it's a fucking quad fluter. I've got all sorts here. You can get a triple fluter, which is ideal. It's the 9.5 mil. Talk to the camera, Paul. 9.5 mil is the way to go because the radius, when you cut in on templates for pickups and stuff, your pickup will work. If you use a 12.5, that one, right, you'll find that the corners will not be tight enough when you route out for humbuckers and things. So your 9.5 is way more universal, not so important for chomping out all that shit. But if you're going to get one set, get 9.5s of all varying lengths. I also use, these here with the bearing on the bottom so that you can go through so far because that'll only go so deep through the template, and then you can just flip her over, flick a bit of flour on it, find the wet spot and finish yourself off with the underside bearing bit. I don't know where this is going. Back over there. Back over there. Oh, tour the workshop, look at that, look. Oh, you get a little cheeky look around and the top of my head, which looks a little bit like the top of Jimmy Savile's head. Touchy. Let's be honest. It's a challenging wank, but I'm sure a few of you will have a go. Now, we're just going to glue this on. Nothing, no heroics. It's a piece of piss, really, innit? I'm going to make sure that I can drill through there and get that one lined up first. So I'm going to put that one in. I'm going to make sure he's tight like a tiger, all right? Then I can whip that one off. Our centre lines should all measure up. Doesn't really matter anyway because we're painting the top. But I'm going to get this glued on so that this afternoon I can get my routered fucking shape on it. It's not going to be like a Les Paul. It's my version of a Les Paul. It's going to be my version of a Buckethead. And the geezer that this is going to is an absolute diamond. Most of the people that order a custom guitar with me, I'll say, what do you want to do about this, this or this? And they say, I don't give a fuck. Just make it look like a Milehouse. So, which is wonderful, because I do get a bit of carte blanche, which this isn't a check or money, but, well, it is money eventually. What we really need is to stick it in with, I've got a new brand, the new sponsor for the episode, Rocky's Gentleman Custard. It's not just a fucking international forehead, and it's absolutely lovely. Millie Beans is in there, look, pinning up for the fucking masses. That'll probably get me blocked. It's not a real baby. Someone made me that. Now, we're going to go on here. We're not going to go too mental with the Gentleman Custard. I did get asked if I would put Rocky's Gentleman Custard on a t-shirt. I think that might be a step too far for the general masses. And you'd be a fucking bonkers if you're going to walk down the high street in that. So, not too mental with the glue. We don't want it all seeping in your channel. Lovely. On she goes. Remember, that screw is in your neck pocket. This is being painted, so really you could do whatever you want with screws. We're not going to though, because this is woodwork for the initiated. Anyone who's not sure, I just spoke bollocks. So anyway, speedy uppy clamp. I'll see you back here when I've given it a trim off. I'm going to trim it like Trevor's pubes. We'll get all this lovely and trim, and I'll see you for the coving bit, which I've just rested my clamps on, so that's probably fun. This is from Rutland's. They don't like me, or influencers, and to be fair, they don't need to, because they make fucking spanking tools, and if you get anything from there, generally, it's very, very good. So I'm not going to be harsh about Rutland's. All the Rutland's tools I've got, they're porn. They are porn. But sponsor me, you cunts. No one's going to sponsor you if you call them a cunt, Paul. You might have a point.
3 days later.
Are we on? Are we on? We're on. Right, we're back in. We've got to do our top carve. I've done a bit of a trim up. We're all looking quite sexy. Everything's on. I'll give it a preliminary sand. Fuck all strenuous. We've taken it easy. That's the whole point of this build. So we're going to do our carving on the top. I've got a block of limber, a block of shit, and so basically I'll walk you through this. I'll try and make it entertaining, because at the end of the day I'm making wood a different shape. So you can see on this one, this block of maple, I've gone too far, but you can see what this curve does. Now, I can blend that in after. So what I'm going to do, you can't take all this in one chunk because it'll have your fingers, all right? And I'll need these to pleasure things. So I'm going to just whip through and go bit by bit. Every time I rise it up, I'm just going to run a pass on this and make sure I've got my profile all lovely. When I'm happy, I'll whip the guitar through. Bit by bit, nibble by nibble. So I'll bring Dave over. We'll do a super slow-mo from over the top. We'll go a Dave reach around and we'll get our carve, and then I'll have a little look at it and I'll think, shall I leave it like that? Or shall we go super wonky and start blending it with a bit of 80 grit? I think I'm going to go down that route. But the whole point of this is because I don't like Les Paul carves. I'm not that much of a fan. I want this to be very subtle, very subdued. So this is a lot less than a Les Paul. It's about a 7mm, but once I blend it in, I don't know. Let's have a look, shall we? Here we go. Fingers crossed. Right, I actually really like that. But I'm going to soften it up. I think I might start doing them like that in the future. I think that looks really cool. It's a basic carpentry router bit, but it works lovely for that. I'm going to ease these edges in though and make it a little bit more Les Paulish, and we'll see how it turns out. It just means I'm going to have a largely flat top, which I prefer because it'll work better with other bridge types as well without the ABR1 bridge or 2 pneumatic or whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to put my headphones on. I've got a new disc of 80 grittage on there, and I'm going to spend probably 10 minutes. The most important part of this now, and one of the hardest things to get right on Les Pauls, and one of the things I got wrong on my Buckethead that I made before, is keeping this distance the same, because when I bind this, I want it to be nice and equal. So I'm going to sand this on this edge, but I'm going to stay away from the outside edge. One of the ways I know I'm going to do that is I'm going to colour it in. I'm going to put a pencil line all the way around, and I want to make sure that I do not sand that pencil line away. You can fuck a lot of things up with sandpaper, right? And I have done. Sandpaper is more destructive than you think. I'm going to shop around for a bit that maybe does a better job of this and coves it in and gets us a little bit closer to the original, but not too close, because this is a Milehouse Les Paul. I'm blinking a lot because I've got shit in the eye. Anyway, 4th width. Well, there you go. That works an absolute treat. And the reason it works a treat is because it's so easy to keep things uniform and lovely. I've just given it a manual tickle with a bit of sandpaper. That was 80 grit, a bit of 120. You could blend that more if you want. A Les Paul body has got a curve all the way over the top, which with a CNC is a piece of piss. If you want to spend the whole day on it or a long time, you can recreate it time and time again. But it is a ball ache, and a bit like using the correct router bit to carve my necks, I'm always looking for repeatability, not just simplicity, because I am fucking simple, but that's the whole point for me. I want repeatability, and I wanted something that's a bit different to how Gibson do it. I'm almost doing like a crossover between a Junior and a normal Les Paul. We're going to bind this up, double bind it, spray it up. It's going to look absolutely spanking. I'm much happier with this technique. It's going to be very, very pretty. We'll be doing some binding with acetone on this one, but the next episode we'll get stonking on the neck. I don't know when this series is coming out, because it's obviously it's another Buckethead, so I'm not sure about that. I'll probably bring it out later on. This might be old me. Who fucking knows? I might not have any fingers when this comes out. We'll put it in the back pocket. That was creepy. See you next week. Special wave. Love you. Bye.